show you 5 non-obvious reasons why your guitar speed is not increasing even if you practice every day and you think you're doing all the right things you need to do to make your speed go up. And that includes even watching YouTube videos by truly great teachers who explain speed building concepts really, really well. Believe it or not, it all starts with the question you ask. If you go to Google or YouTube and you type, "How do I build guitar speed?" or "How do I play guitar fast?" you're going to find all kinds of answers, all promising to give you the secret, or at least a set of secrets, to make your speed go up. The problem is, you of course have no idea which of these methods is the right one or which one makes sense for you to follow because you've already committed a huge mistake in your problem-solving process. You mistook the symptom for the cause of the problem. If you're like most people, you think that you're not playing as fast as you want, so lack of speed is the problem. That's not the case. There could be all kinds of reasons why your guitar speed is not faster than it is today. So that, right there, would be a much more useful question to ask. Why isn't your speed faster than it is? Why aren't you already playing as fast as you want to play? What are the things stopping you from playing faster than you're currently able to play?
Any of those would have been fine!
Now, of course, unfortunately, you can't just Google, "Why isn't my guitar speed faster than it is right now?" and get any kind of useful answers back. So that just goes to show you that getting personalized feedback and training on your technique and practice mechanics is always the preferred way to go. But my point is, even when you're watching truly great guitar teachers explain speed building concepts and everything they're saying is 100% correct, it simply may not be the exact strategy or approach you need to work on in your practicing in that moment. Reason number 2 why your guitar speed may not be increasing is because your approach to practicing for speed is one-sided.
What the f does that mean?
There's a speed building model that I teach to my guitar students that I call the shred triangle, and the triangle has 3 sides. The first side is technique, or the mechanics or the motions that you use to train yourself to play guitar fast. The second side are the practice methods, the way you use a metronome, what you focus on while you practice that allow you to train your technique to play guitar fast. And the third side of the shred triangle, which most people don't think about, is your ability to hear notes at higher speeds. If you can't hear what 16th notes at 250 sounds like, or if you can't follow the notes in real time as you listen to a guitar solo at that speed, guess what? You'll never be able to train your hands to play at that speed until your brain can hear the notes first. Some focus way too much on the motions of pick slanting, and they think that if they find the pick angle that's just right, they'll be able to catapult their playing to the speed that they want, and then they get frustrated when it doesn't work. Other people focus too much on just finding that perfect metronome tempo to practice at, or the right interval to increase the metronome speed when they're ready to go up in speed, and almost nobody focuses on training their ear to hear notes at higher speeds. You get the idea. What you want to focus on are all 3 parts of the triangle, and you need to get clear on exactly which of them is the biggest weakness in your playing right now. Which one is the biggest bottleneck? That's the one you want to attack first. It may very well be that your technique is all messed up, you need to fix that, and then the next area to focus on is finding the right practice method to get you to the next plateau in your speed. Then it may be that your ear that needs work. Then your technique may need work again, and so on and so forth. The third reason why your speed may not be increasing is because you're not leaning into your edges, or not leaning into your threshold, as I like to say. Let's say that you actually know what things are holding you back from building your speed, or at least you have a good guess of what those things might be. Let's say one of those is 2-hand synchronization. Do you know the fastest speed at which you can play the lick you're trying to improve at with your hands totally in sync? That's a much different type of speed than the gun to the head top speed, which is the fastest speed you can play something if your life depended on it. Every single element of technique, your timing, your synchronization, the efficiency of motions, your tension control throughout your body, all of them have their own unique threshold of control, which is the fastest tempo where you can control that element perfectly. You need to know what those tempos are for each element you're trying to control, and you need to practice right around that tempo so you challenge yourself just enough, but then also back off slightly when you need to give yourself a bit of a break. And that's what I mean by leaning into your edges and then backing off, then leaning into your edges and then backing off. That is the most effective way to close the gap between each of these individual thresholds and your overall top speed of being able to play something. But it all starts with having clarity on exactly where you are with each of these elements and knowing what the threshold are for each one, so you can then focus on each one like I described. The fourth reason why your guitar speed is not increasing is because you're focusing too much on vertical progress and not enough or not at all on horizontal progress. Vertical progress means you're increasing your metronome tempos in a linear way from 100 to 110 to 120 and so on. Horizontal progress is when you're staying in a certain tempo and looking for ways to make the lick harder for yourself to play at that tempo before you increase the speed. That could mean all kinds of things from simply playing the lick more than once so you work on some consistency, or making the lick harder to play by, let's say, changing the fingering from the major scale to harmonic minor scale to get that weird stretch in there between the 6th and the 7th note to make the lick slightly harder for the fretting hand so that the original feels a little bit easier. It could mean playing the lick unplugged while staying just as relaxed and maintaining flawless articulation and powerful pick attack, because that's going to make your distorted playing feel that much easier. Any of those things are going to challenge you and make you make horizontal progress at that tempo with that lick. It's also going to make your speed gains way more consistent and reliable. So if you stay, let's say, at 110 and you make your playing more consistent using all the ways I just described, when it's time to go on stage or record that lick or play in front of other people, you're going to be way more certain that you're going to nail it when the time comes. But if you rush through the speeds and you can't wait to increase the metronome tempo the moment you nail something even once, then don't be surprised if your speed gains vanish the very next day. And finally, reason number 5 why your guitar speed may be stuck at the same level and not increasing is because you're trying to increase the metronome tempos way too gradually. What happens is if you start at some slow, comfortable tempo and begin increasing the speed in 1, 2, or 3 BPM at a time, at first everything feels wonderful. But what's happening is your technique is gradually getting worse and worse and worse, but you're not aware of it because the metronome jumps are so small and barely noticeable. The solution is to make larger metronome jumps that are going to be very noticeable, that's going to make it very obvious for you that something doesn't feel right, something feels off. You want to notice that, you want to become aware of that, because the moment you notice that something doesn't feel right, you can back off, go to the previous tempo, and make some horizontal progress there like we talked about in the previous step, and after that, you'll be ready to take another bigger jump, and then everything is going to hold together, and you'll be ready to play at the next level with much better technique. So as you can see, there's quite a bit more to building guitar speed than meets the eye. And if you enjoyed this video, if you found this stuff eye-opening, I think you'll also enjoy my free 1-hour masterclass called Guitar Speed Formula. What it is a new way to build guitar speed that does not make you start slow and gradually build speed in small increments, because as I just told you, this is definitely not the best approach to use in many cases. If you want to know a new way to build guitar speed, check out the link in the description, enter your email address, I'll send you the video for free. And if you want to see how one of the greatest guitar players of all time, John Petrucci, uses horizontal progress to make his playing better, then check out the video on the screen right now.